Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. Let's check out our space weather. We got a lot to talk about in this small update, so this might go a little long, but our space weather right now, solar wind speeds coming in at 418.1 kilometers per second with a low density of 3.8. We have one sunspot to speak of, that is AR2857, sunspot number 13. As I predicted with AR2857, it is slowly stable, but is also slowly decaying as well. So we will be blank again on the sun here within the next 24 to 48 hours. As far as any solar activity goes, well, we've got some small coronal holes. Let's check that out real quick on the space weather section here at the grandsolarminimum.com. Mari revamped this up for me, and this looks much better, much easier to use. Check out our star right now. This in the blue where it says CH is coronal holes. CH1025, CH1026, small coronal holes, not even really Earth impacting. They will graze our magnetic fields because they're in the northern part of the star, but they will not be direct impact. So the sun is definitely all quiet. Now, KP index is at a 1 with the 24-hour max at a 3. The TCI, which is the thermospheric climate index, has dropped again. 4.81 is the number. Now, that's still considered cold, folks. We saw it as low as 3 and sometimes in the high 2 values, which is super, super, super cold, almost record-breaking. 2.05 is the record-breaking TCI cold. So far, we have not seen an indication of the upper atmosphere starting to do its warm-up. It went up to 7 back in January and has slowly traveled backwards over the last several months. Cosmic radiation dosage rates changed by 0.1% over the last 48 hours. We're sitting at a 9.2% dosage rate, folks. Yes, that's correct. Grand solar minimum conditions still. All right, let's go back to the space weather section here at the grandsolarminimum.com. We check out the backside of our sun, and we are going to be blank. Just plain and simple. Checking out what we have action-wise, and there's nothing. We always had that chance for spontaneous development. We may be watching this particular sunspot here because we've seen smaller ones develop, and they get labeled. Other than that, when you look backwards, we really don't have a lot going on. So you're asking yourself, I thought we were heading towards a solar max. We are, but this is what week cycles do. They start very, very slow. They don't really get going until about a couple years into it. So what we're seeing is kind of normal when you talk about a week cycle. Now, solar wind, everything's flatline, Solar wind speeds have been kind of up and down, but moderate between 390 and 405. Nothing really to write home about. Everything else looks like a flat line. So no solar activity that's of any kind of significance to speak of at the moment. And like I said, we are looking at, let's take a look at LASCO, see if we see any CME explosions. We should be able to capture one. There it is. That is not Earth facing. We had a halo CME not too long ago that was on the other side, the far side as well. I think that would have been neat to see because of how big the actual filament release was. So here we are, just seeing a couple of minor filament releases from our star. Again, these are far side. They will not affect Earth as far as that goes. Nothing to worry about. So far, the coast is clear when it comes to space weather at the moment. All right, so let's get into some weather real quick because I have some I want to talk about. First, let's go over quickly the weather maps. Right now, we're facing flood watches and warnings across all over the Northeast, from central New York, upstate New York, to all across Pennsylvania, most of West Virginia, and the northern half of Virginia. And the reason why we're seeing all this rain is we're dealing with the remnants of Fred. And let's take a look at a live radar to show you exactly what Fred is and where he's at. Fred is hanging out in the Great Lakes right now near Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. A long line of rain is on the way, and we should see storms and showers most of the day today, all the way through Thursday evening. A couple of things have developed interestingly about this storm that I was telling you about when we reported last on Monday. It was Tropical Storm number 8. Well, now it's called Tropical Storm Henri. That's right, not Henry, Henri, which means something different to me, but nonetheless, the models on this are interesting. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this one, actually. Let's take a look. The cone has got us away from the coast, right? We thought that this storm was going to form and then just kind of spin around out here in the middle Atlantic because of high pressure. Well, now this cone has got us kind of grazing the northeast coast, all right? Not really coming on board, but grazing the northeast. The problem with that is that you mix these storms that even if it doesn't come in close, and by the way, this is saying hurricane H. Last I checked, that means hurricane, right? Or maybe they're just calling it Henri with the H. I don't know. Anyway, this could be hurricane status by Monday of next week. And what I was getting at is that we are dealing with high tide as well. So this storm causing problems could mean some coastal flooding, even if it doesn't hit. But I've got something interesting to show you guys here just in a minute. Let's go back to Mike's weather page, check out some more stats on some weather before we move on to what I wanted to show you. I don't see it right now. All right, so let's just go right into it then, shall we? Fred is already on land. Grace is heading towards Mexico, which is not to talk about. But unfortunately for us, we don't have to worry about any major landfalls happening here in the United States. Now, let's check out the GFS because it's been a while since I've done a long-term broadcast. I want you to watch Henri here, out here in the Mid-Atlantic. Watch what happens. This is the latest models here from GFS. This storm, pretty compact. Look at this, 964 millibars. So this will be a hurricane if this forecast holds up. This right here is Sunday, August 22nd. Remember, we got high tide to deal with. This model actually shows a landfall near Boston. That's right, folks. Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts. Watch out. This might be an early warning and this may be off, but GFS 06Z model is suggesting that there possibly could be a landfall from Henri. And even if it's just a Cat 1, folks, you factor in high tide, and this storm looks a little powerful here in this particular model. Look at this. This is Monday. It doesn't make a full-on landfall, but guys, this thing is moving like a nor'easter, raking the east coast all the way through Maine and then rolls out to the north. Thanks to high pressure sitting right here, churning its way and pushing this storm up the coast. Again, Monday, Sunday night into Monday is when we are looking at the possible approach of a landfall. 972 millibars as landfall, and it starts to go up from there as it continues to go on land, and then as it moves out of the northeast, it finally fades away by the time it moves past Maine. So I thought that was interesting. We need to keep our eyes open for this. Not that it's going to cause any widespread damage, because this storm seems small and centralized. Right now, GFS is not indicating we're going to see rain bands coming in on inland on this. Hell, New York is going to have clear skies while this hurricane is making landfall. So that tells you right there, there's some rain showers on Tuesday, but that's not from this system. And then that high pressure system helps move that out. Now I want to show you one more thing too, because the GFS is really sloppy here towards the end of the month. Another storm system moves up from the tropics heading towards the east coast, and it could see some more coastal flooding from that one. It's too far out to tell. That's August 28th. But look down here in the Gulf too. Another system that is moving into the Gulf, bringing heavy rain to Mexico again. Unless that's Grace. That might be Grace. Actually, yeah, that's Grace. I'm sorry, folks. So there's Grace finally making landfall in Texas. But then at the very end, and this is old, or this is data that's far out, but September 3rd, GFS is indicating some more action here in the Gulf. Now, it is hurricane season, and this is the time of the year where we really start to see the increase of storms. And so far, thankfully, knock on wood, or particle board, we have not had a major landfall hurricane yet. We haven't even had a hurricane make landfall yet this summer. So that is the good news. The bad news is it's going to start ramping up, and we will see more activity from the tropics. But right now, it looks like hurricane season could be working, or waking up, I should say. So watch out for Grace as it moves across the Gulf and parts of Mexico. Fred has already made its way up into the United States, is affecting the Northeast as we speak. More rain on the way today. Henri, yeah, that's right. It's Henri, all right. 65 miles per hour is the sustained winds on this one. Central pressure of 998, and it is moving towards the east coast and the northeast coast of the United States. So we've got 3 storms to talk about. Fred dumping rain. Henri could be dumping rain, and of course Grace will be dumping rain as well. And speaking of dumping rain, we had breaking news from Galvey, Sweden. 5.5 inches of rain fell in just 1 hour. Grand solar minimum much. Cosmic radiation, we are fluxed. And Sweden gets 5 inches of rain in 1 hour. A total of over 6 inches for the whole day. But the bulk of it fell in just 1 hour, folks. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at our 3-day forecast here in the lower 48. Weather map today shows us rain and flash floods possible in the red areas that I've indicated already. That's from Tropical Storm Fred. It's now just basically a subtropical storm. It's just dropping rain everywhere. Showers for the Ohio Valley all the way down and into the panhandle of Florida. Texas as well. Dry for the Central Plains states, and in Minnesota and Wisconsin, unfortunately, they don't need the dry weather. They need the rain. More monsoon rains on the way for Nevada, Arizona. Looks like also Utah. Heavy rain, flash floods possible. Rain up in the mountain plain states and the Northwest. Dry along the coast. That is today. And then we move forward to Thursday. Rain for everybody, right? Mixed precipitation. Oh, isn't that great? Isn't that great? That's right, folks. August 19th, Idaho, Wyoming, and Colorado, and Utah. Obviously in the higher elevations. I'm not freaking out here. But we are going to see a mixture of snow and sleet in 4 states tomorrow. How about that? Thursday, August 19th. Okay. Yeah. Hottest month on the year, right? This month coming up. Yeah. More severe weather across the northern plain states. There's what we're talking about. Heavy rain, flash flooding possible for parts of Minnesota. Millennial Farmer, there you go. Matt Bros out in Nebraska, there you go, buddy. There's some rain. Hopefully your crops get a nice big drink from that. And just rain chances all over across the United States. Dry, unfortunately, in the southwest, in Arizona and California and Nevada, but rain on the coast of Washington and Oregon as well. Much needed rain for these areas. But guys, the spots where it shows dotted green, that is just a chance of rain. The solid green shaded is the actual, good chance for rain. Here's why we're looking at frozen precipitation by tomorrow. Look at the northwest. Temperatures across for daytime highs are in the 40s and 50s in Montana. That's right, 40s and 50 in Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho. And then the nighttime low temperatures, well, look at that. Freezing or colder. August 18th, folks. Already starting to see signs of summer winding down in parts of the United States. I know folks over there in the UK, I can tell you right now, fall is on the way already out there. It is well underway, and things are changing already. So, I said a short, hot summer this year. Summer really got into gear around second week of June. Here we are in the second week of August. And I know here temperatures in the Northeast, and I'll show you guys a full report here probably tomorrow, but I know here in the Northeast, temperatures are going to scale off. We got 2 days of 80s coming up, and then after that, it's back in the low 70s and maybe even lower than that. So watch out, folks. We're watching the weather everywhere right now. We're seeing the changes. It does look like that the seasons could be changing a little earlier right now, as the GFS indicated to us that we would see temperatures in the 80s through the rest of the month of August. Let's check that real quick while I got you live. Let's see where we are temperature. That's September 3rd. That's not a daytime high, though. There's your daytime highs for September 2nd. 90s across the south, 70s in Texas, 60s and 70s and 50s across the northern plain states and in the northeast. Great Lakes, the upper Great Lakes, we're going to be looking at temperatures also in that temperature range. But look at this. Not really the kind of heat that we were expecting for the rest of this month. Now look at the areas that are staying cool. The Great Lakes, the northern plains, the northwest, the northeast. These are the areas I described to you guys as possibly areas that could be struggling to see summer-like temperatures. And August 28th, the daytime high for central New York is 65 degrees in Syracuse near the Finger Lakes. 69 degrees for a high in Pittsburgh. 74 for a high in Cincinnati, Ohio on August 28th. Folks, I'm from Southwest Ohio. It's still in the upper 80s at this point. So very, very cool weather on the way for the Great Lakes in the north. This is all the way at the end of the month. What about the short term, you say, Jake? Well, let's roll back. Let's roll back. 18th, here we go. Daytime highs, look at that. Nice and cool in the northeast. That's because of Fred dropping rain. Hot up in the northern plains. So dry and hot for them, not good. Overnight lows, still freaking hot for you in the northern plain states. Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota. Look at that. Temperatures in the triple digits in parts of Minnesota, but guess what? You guys are going to get some rain out of this. So there will be thunderstorms that come in, and then that cold front will just swoop in. By Saturday, the climate's going to feel much better up there in Minnesota and Wisconsin, 60s and 70s for highs even. Guys, again, the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and the Northeast, this is probably going to be your hottest day on August 23rd, and then after that, we're going to see temperatures starting to slide. Ooh, there we go, 24th. I can tell you this right now. Looking at my extended forecast, we are not expected to hit anywhere near these 90s, so I'm not sure what the GFS is trying to signal here, but I have seen forecasts that are going to have us drop way below average by the end of August here. Now, still hot in the Southwest. Summer is not over out there, folks, no doubt. But the Great Lakes, the Northeast, the Northern Plain states, and possibly the Ohio Valley, we might start to see fall-like weather approaching here in the United States. It does warm up towards the end of September, and we see what they call here the Indian summer. But you look at the temperatures in the Northern Plain states and the Northeast and the Great Lakes, we're probably going to see a little earlier fall than we'd like just based on this. And this is really far out. I don't really trust these forecasts that far out. But at this point, we have to just keep our eyes on it, right? Wrong map. It could be the wrong map. Who knows? All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap it up for today. Thank you very much for tuning into the Grand Solar Minimum channel for your update. Want to say hello to Knife Collector, Sue Hayes, Jerome from Rochester. Good to see you out here, my friend. Also, Pleb of Reason. We need the rain here in the Dakotas. Yes, you do. Not going to disagree with you on that. Good friend of mine on Twitter. And you know what's great about you, Pleb, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is that people can have a difference of opinions with you, and you're not the typical person out there who blocks people and argues and bickers. You actually can hold a debate and be civil when you're disagreeing with somebody. So I really respect that, and I'm glad that you're in the chat today. So good to see you, bud. Also want to say hello over to Vert Caver. Good to see you, sir. Rocky Top, Matthew McDonald, Pete. Hello, Pete. Pizza Hut. That's funny. It's kind of funny. And of course, always hello to my lovely wife, Mari, who does an awesome job on everything that produces this show, the website, everything. Guys, check out our Teespring store. We need the support, okay? We are crunch time on the house. We got to get moving here. So if anything, you're helping a good cause here at the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Check out our t-shirts, our masks. If you wear masks, if you don't, that's fine. We have hats, we have coffee cups, we have hoodies, we have stickers. Check out our Teespring store. Become a paid member on YouTube, or check out our Patreon channel. Right now, it's just a tip jar. Becoming $1 a month member there. We will get content going once again and give you perks on Patreon here in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Folks, we're almost settled. So this channel is very, very close from going full-blown content every single day. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us once again. Thank you for tuning into the Grand Solar Minimum. We hope everyone has a great Wednesday, and we will talk soon.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.